Any questions before we start today? Any questions? Okay. So what we're going to do today is spend a bit of time talking about plants, how plants grow, and then we're going to lead into a bit of cell structure. Then the next couple of lectures will be on cell structure and cell ultrastructure. And I want to start out with this slide because there's a couple of things that may be new, and that's the notion of polarity. How do plants grow? Anybody know the answer? I mean, if you look at a plant, what does polarity mean? What does the word polarity mean? Yes, sir. Directional, yeah, two different ends. So plants grow up and down. And that even from the first division after fertilization, there is something called asymmetric cell division. In other words, if we did not have asymmetric cell division, then everything would just be a round blob. Plants and animals. And plants are sort of have this polarity that why do plants grow up? What's the purpose of a plant growing? If you put a seed in the ground, the seedling comes up and it grows up. Why? Sunlight. Okay? Why do plant roots grow down? They're controlled by gravity, so there are cells called statoliths, and we'll talk about that toward the end of the semester. But they grow, the plant roots grow down, but why? Not how they do it, not the mechanism, but why, teleologically, do they grow down? What's the purpose of that? Mining the soil. Plants don't move. Most plants don't move. Terrestrial plants don't move. So they've developed these mechanisms to, one, grow up toward the light, and the other end, the root to grow into and around objects. If there's a rock, the plant root will grow over the top of the rock and then grow down the side of it. Depends on the kind of plant. But there's this growth up and down. And we'll start right here. If you take a shoot tip from a plant, and that shoot tip of a plant is surrounded by whorl after whorl of primordial leaves, and you section it, this is what you see. These are two different root tips, obviously. And what you're looking at here is very young leaves. This is a leaf, this is a leaf. Down here is a leaf that's not attached because it was, when you look at this, one thing you should get in this class is the three-dimensionality. So this goes behind the screen and goes in front of the screen. So this of course, then is a round top here. And then we have these leaves. And then between the leaves, we have these potential meristems, these bumps, okay? So these are all leaf primordia, and this part right here, the apical meristem, is basically the only place in the plant that cells divide. So the root and the shoot both have these very, very specific places. And that is, for the most part, where all cell division occurs. And then, well, let me go finish here. So most of the growth of the plant is just due to an enormous amount of cell elongation up and down. So like I said, the only plant I really know anything about is corn. So by the time the corn plant is just a few inches long or tall, there's very little cell division that occurs after that point. Everything is there. So you go from, a foot to 6 or 8 feet tall. That's almost all due to cells expanding along the axis up and down. And we'll talk a lot about that when we talk about auxins. And then you have the apical meristem, which is this meristem right here at the top. And then you have these axillary buds, and these appear in both of these. And some of you may know that if you want a plant to get really bushy, you pull the top of the plant off. Okay? When you pull the top of the plant, the buds out, your Google Chrome has stopped working.